So I've got the bikes done, got my paddle boards done. Now we need to get some place to use them. So we're going to go ahead and try to build a camper. Considered a lot of different options for making a trailer, and I think that just starting off with a trailer that already exists is going to be my best bet. So I took a look at Tractor Supply, Home Depot, Lowe's, and obviously Harbor Freight. So considering all the different trailers for the money, Harbor Freight's trailer weighed like 50 pounds more than the other options, which means there's more steel, and I would consider that to be just a better trailer overall then. So that's what I went with. In this video, we'll get the utility trailer put together. So the trailer came in these two boxes. The little one on the bottom weighs a freaking ton. One on the top's not too heavy. And I just stuck them here on the side of my house because I like to park my cars in the garage at night. But I'll go ahead and unpack them and start hauling this stuff over to the garage. So as I opened the boxes, as it turned out, the instructions were exactly underneath everything. But it kind of seems to me that common sense, these side rails are labeled left front and rear and right front and rear. That's a cross member, so these also look like cross members. There's the axle. I don't know what these brackets are. Obviously the wheel and the leaf spring, the wheel and the fenders, and then for the tongue, I guess. So, but anyway, went ahead and just tried to kind of put these in a spot that seems like I'm going to end up needing them. But time to break out the instructions and see where we're at. So the instructions call for putting together the first square first, the front square. So 3 cross sections and then the side brackets. And I decided to go totally rogue. And I went ahead and torqued the bolts down. I looked up a spec online and it said 57.3 Newton meters for an M10 bolt. So I torqued it to that. And then also made sure that the whole thing was square. So I'm not quite sure how it is that you could build something like this and not make sure that that was square. But, well, I guess they thought that you shouldn't have to buy those extra tools. So I've got the front part of this trailer stuck together. No use going into a lot of detail. I mean, the only thing that can get you tripped up a little bit is just the orientation of these two side parts. The plates that these plates here at the front of the hitch mount to can only go on the bottom. So that's the only thing. But it's really straightforward. A lot of people in the reviews were saying, oh, the instructions were terrible and I had such a hard time putting it together, and I don't understand it. So maybe some people are just not mechanically inclined, and I guess that's fine, but then don't blame the trailer. The instructions aren't great, but they're not terrible. So, and really, I mean, as long as you get the orientation of these, there's a bolt that goes in each one of the places where 2 parts meet. So what is there to not get? I don't quite understand, but anyway, on to the back half. So I got the back half of this bolted together. Once again, pretty straightforward. The only thing that's not symmetrical is there's a square hole there, and that has to go towards the bottom of the trailer and towards the front of the trailer. There was another thing with symmetry, with these brackets in the front. And the one thing that wasn't wonderful about the instructions is it didn't really say anything about that at all. So you kind of have to look for the pictures and just be careful for it. Other than that, though, it's very straightforward to make. Now, this is a folding trailer, and it did come with these hinges, but I'm looking to make a camper. So, and it's going to sit on the entire frame here. So I do not want a hinge, so I'm not going to build it. But even though it doesn't say anything in the instructions, they did provide holes in the cross members, so you can actually just bolt these 2 pups together. So that's what I'm going to do. And then also, this was going to take 3 bolts each. So I'll have enough bolts to do that with the kit, and in fact that'll leave me with an extra 6 bolts. So I need to put my fenders on, and I need to put my coupler on, but then this trailer's done. So anyway, I think that this is a pretty nice little trailer, and it's pretty straightforward to put together. It's just nuts and bolts. So anyway, we'll get that stuff finished up tomorrow and get started with the camper. So back to work on the trailer. So maybe I'm looking for a problem that's not going to exist, but I'm somewhat concerned. I mean, there's nothing preventing this trailer from becoming oblong as I can see it. So if I were to bump into this corner, for instance, backing up, what would prevent it from coming towards the front of the trailer, knocking this one relatively out, and then the whole trailer is no longer rectangle, but just a parallelogram. So what I've decided to do is I'm going to weld these joints, and I'm going to go ahead and do all of them. So just put a weld on all these joints just to make this trailer good and stiff. I'm not all the structural support is coming from the trailer, so I need it to be as rigid as we can make it within reason anyway. So for now, the plan is that I'm going to leave those fasteners in there. That may change depending on how things play out. I am somewhat considering, that there's going to be a decent piece of plywood on top of this. And if that's the case, I may pull those fasteners out and put carriage bolts through the plywood and then through those holes as well. So not quite sure. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But I'm going to consider this portion of the build done when I'm satisfied with the rigidity of the trailer. So I decided to weld each one of these joints at the cross members, the back. In the center, I also went ahead and welded the top here. I didn't do the sides, but I did do the top, and then all the others, and then just kind of hit it with a little bit of truck bed liner, just to kind of protect that area. So as I'm kind of working on things, I'll swing by Home Depot and get some red paint so that it doesn't look so splotchy. But either way, I think that this trailer is rigid and solid enough now so that we can actually start building a camper on it. The kit came with fenders and also a light kit, but I'm thinking at this point that's going to get in the way more than anything. So I'm not going to put it on yet. I'm going to wait until we're built up a bit more for those. The lights I'd like to have up a little bit higher, and they can go up on the height of the camper. And then the fenders I think are going to be in the way as we're building this up. Thanks for watching my video. Have a great day. Please leave any comments and suggestions below.